Dark, Resident Evil, WestWorld. So in the show Dark, they illustrated how a span of time was repeating. And there was like an individual or a few individuals who were working on manipulating the entire populace, if you will, to sort of continuously repeat that same cycle. I'm not saying that it's people who's doing that. It could be some forces of the universe. It could be a computer program. It could be whatever. However, just to reference that, it's kind of like that, the way that this life that I'm living is sort of repeating. Resident Evil, the film series, there's like, well, it was a video game series, and then it was a motion picture film series, live actors, and then they also made like cartoons. So not to I mean, they kind of all run together, but the elements, that just the idea of that, all the weird science and like the heavy, I mean, it was like bad people. That's hence Resident Evil. I have this thing I call the good guest. Imagine you, instead of doing bad things with all that science, you actually did very good, valiant, noble things with that in-depth, like biochemistry and physics principles. We could also reference Fringe, the television series, and speak about some physics. But so Westworld. So the Resident Evil, though, that's in the other lifetimes. That's kind of, there was a whole myriad of like experimentations, all kinds of weird things. I mean, from what I recollect, like just to throw that out there, to reference that film, I think just says a lot. That film series. So Westworld, the idea that there's these characters who are repeating different narratives, the same and or similar, sometimes different and varied. Sometimes you'd be like set up with a whole different family structure or a whole different thing, way of life. So I guess just wanted to reference those three, because it's that those there's tons of TV shows and movies I could reference to try to tell the tale. Those are three big ones. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, this life's a repeat. I'm coming through again. It's almost like a program. And like I said, I remember like a whole myriad of like similar, maybe varied things. And then I also remember ones like where I was completely connected with a different group of people at this stage of my life, of this if you will, and so thus my activities and what I would be involved with would be different than what I'm involved with now. So it's we could cue the Truman Show and a sample in a jar now, perhaps. But anyways, play it again, right? So this is just to reference what I'm aware of. Nobody that I've spoken with about this seems to be aware of it and or willing to talk about it. Just wanted to reference these things. Hope in a great future. Hope in peace for all.